afternoon all. How are we? Welcome. Welcome. Cool music. Thanks, Darklight. Hope you're well. I'm excited. I've been excited thinking about playing 5D chess again ever since we did this stream on Friday. So we're gonna do it again. I did actually jump on the Discord. There's a Discord there where you can potentially like get matchups. Oh, I'm wearing a green shirt. Schoolboy error on the green screen. It's actually probably quite a different green, but probably wise for me to get something else. Should we just do topless topless chess? Maybe not. Maybe that's a bit much. Okay. Alright. So I wonder if like we should play some random games while we just wait and see if anybody does message me back on Discord and is up for a game. But yeah, let's play some. So I think we had to play in screen capture mode, didn't we? Because Discord didn't really like trying to find it as an application. Anyway, so yeah, versus. Sure. Custom, I think, and then we just go. No, not no clock. Playing no clock against a random human opponent is like, yeah, not the one. What's going on here? There we go. Alrighty then. Okay. Never mind. Just do that. There we go. That's fine. I actually really want to drink as well. My mouth is very dry. Very dry. Maybe I should grab that before. Before I start searching for a game, actually. Someone's texting me. Okay. Yeah, let me go grab a glass of water. Alrighty then. Let's get going. Create public match. See what happens here. I guess I could have started searching before I went to get a drink, but yeah, nothing in there. Okay. Guten Tag, Mattox. How are you? Let me put this on this side so it doesn't. Yeah, Guten Tag indeed. Welcome. Happy Sunday. I'm very excited to play more of this. This game has given me so much jokes the other day. This does take a long time though to hunt for a game. Maybe playing with short clocks makes us less likely to get a quick opponent because it's not on the main sort of main screen, you know. I don't know. Ooh. Yeah, it's a bit long to search, like. It's crazy, actually, reading the stuff that people talking about in the Discord. There's so much more strategy to this than I'm even into yet. This is a bit long, isn't it? I'm not really getting the game. Did I read your DMs about the song? Yeah, probably not the most recent ones. Oh wait, no, I did. You said, can you make me a piece? Like, I can definitely do it. I'm gonna start looking at commissioning my music once we get to 1,000 subscribers, but I would do something like that before. I guess it depends on your budget and how long piece of music you want me to write. Or you just want to go to like a website where they have royalty-free stuff, download it from there. So yeah, it's up to you. There's lots of different ways you can go about it. I think this is taking too long, so let's try with medium clocks to just see if, because it's on the main screen, we actually get a match quicker. By the way, what is the music maker thing? Well, there's loads of different bits of software you can make music with. If you're just starting out, my advice would be to start with Fruity Loops. That's a very nice bit of software for making music that is relatively easy to use. I think, you know, it's always going to be a steep learning curve. But also, if you've got good ears, that's all you really need. Private, no clock, standard in progress. Ooh. Do we just have to play CPU games here? This is peak. I want a game. The one that I use currently is called Ableton Live, but I've used them all over the years. Like, I spent some time using GarageBand as a teenager and Fruity Loops a lot, and then I used Logic Pro in my sort of early 20s and at university, actually, so a bit before that. From about age 17 or 18, I started using Logic Pro, and I probably used Logic Pro up until I got my first like PC. After uni, I got a big gaming PC and then switched to Pro Tools at that point. Yeah, so the one I'm currently using is Ableton Live, which is very good too. But Fruity Loops is a good place to start because it's quite intuitive in some ways. Ionatan's here. Good morning. How are you? 99 as well, bringing the 5D chess. That's the game here. Maybe we just need to play a CPU match because these matchmaking times are taking too long. Some of the CPU matches do get interesting, but the CPU does tend to blunder even on strong aggressive. It'll still blunder quite a lot early on. But let's play a CPU match to warm up because the wait times there were a bit long. I have put a shout out on Discord. Well, there's a league I could register for, but I might be too late, apparently. Okay, yeah, let's just play a CPU game here, screw it. We'll see if I can get into that league in the long run, that would be sick. Well, I can do a thing like about the budget thing. I'm bloating, I don't have PayPal, but I can in exchange edit your videos or exchange of favors. Oh yeah, we have to hit play here. Alright, let's talk. Maybe let's talk about that later. I mean, I do actually want some help with editing, particularly at the moment. So maybe there is something we could do there actually, mate. So let's DM afterwards. Okay, so this is 5D chess. For anyone who didn't catch the stream the other day, it's hilarious. I'll just try and explain rules as we go. If I sit here and try and explain it all at the beginning, it's not really doable. But as we go, I'll explain what's happening. Hopefully, then you'll sort of pick it up. The first thing in 5D chess is to realize that our king can be attacked from the future. So right now, the king is safe, yeah? But like in the future, where the king is now may not be safe anymore, and something can come back in time to get it. So one of the important things is to think of defending your king as being a historical concern. The king needs to have always been defended. It's not okay to just say, well, I don't need to have the king defended right now because it's not under attack, because it may well, that point in time may become under attack later. So that's why in normal chess you would usually develop, well, in normal chess you'd usually develop these pawns first to let your minor pieces out. Not in 5D chess. In 5D chess, I think one of the best opening moves is possibly that. Developing one of the knights out to the edge. You then get to play this pawn up here I quite like. See, I think this is a poor opening from the CPU. I'll show you why. Okay, that was a blunder from me, but I was concentrating already on this opening here now. The problem is to get our bishop over there without exposing the king or the queen now is difficult. But we'll come this way. Okay. Important, I think, for us to appreciate if we move the bishop, the knight is then hanging. But if we bring the knight up here, we're threatening a fork of the knight, of the queen and the rook. But we need to put that square there under attack first, which again is one move away. So yeah, we're kind of threatening this situation here. I like that. Let's do that. Okay, they've done some time traveling already. I don't know if that's a mistake on their part. They've created a reality now. They've traveled their queen back in time from here to here. And that queen has therefore moved 1 unit in time. It looks like it's moved 2 units in time because of the 2 boards. But 1 unit of time is from one black square, like one black turn to the previous black turn. Yeah, so that like from this board to this board is 1 unit in time because it's 1 whole turn. So he's moved 1 unit in time and 1 unit in the X direction and moved from there to there. Okay. My go-to start in 1D chess. How does the rook when attacking in the past? Okay, so the way that the rook moves is just like in normal chess. You just have to think of the way that pieces move in normal chess. Instead of being as up and down and left and right, just think of up and down as 1 dimension and left and right as another dimension. And regular chess is played in 2 dimensions, right? Now, in 5D chess, it's really actually, it would be more accurate to call it 4D chess. I'm not really sure how they justify the 5th D. But all rooks do is, the way rooks move is they move any number of places, but along 1 dimension at a time. So if a rook is moving into the past, then it must always land on the same square it left from, because the dimension it's moving in is the past, and therefore it can't move in the X or Y axis, because it's 1 dimension at a time. That's the rook's thing. Anyway, we've got a bit more to think about here, because now it's our turn on this board, which is in the present, so we must play on this board. This line here indicates the present. This board's now in the future, so it's optional. We can play on it, and I think we want to keep our attack going. And the thing that's interesting is they have moved their queen away, but we can still threaten this rook nicely here. I mean, the other option would just be to take the pawn there, threaten the rook. But I think this is a more interesting move over here. So that's what we'll do over there. As for up here, like we could retreat our king down to this board and create another dimension where they've got 1 queen and we've got 2 kings. But that's kind of risky. But then it would mean that this reality where they have 2 queens, we don't have a king. But the 2 queens here can still attack elsewhere. I mean, the whole thing's crazy. Yeah, so the queen becomes the most dangerous piece. If you think about what I was just saying about the rook, what the queen can do is move any number of dimensions it chooses. Because in regular chess, it can either move diagonal or in a straight line, right? You could interpret the queen's movement as being up to 2 dimensions, but they don't. they interpret the bishop as being exactly 2 dimensions. The bishop can only move diagonal, right? In normal chess. So in 5D chess, the bishop must move along 2 dimensions at the same time. Any number of places it likes, but 2 dimensions. And the number of places it moves must be the same in both dimensions, of course, right? Anyway, of course. But the way they interpret the queen is not up to 2 dimensions. They interpret it as many dimensions as you like. So the queen can go up to the maximum. The queen can move it, and the same goes for the king, actually. They can move in parallel universes, in time, up and down on the board, and left and right on the board, all in one turn. Again, it just has to be the same number of places across all. If they're moving in any of them, it must be that same number of places, right? Okay, so let's keep going here. We could castle up here. That would be nice. And it just means that up here there's a different world of king defending going on to down here, which means they can't easily switch one attack from one reality to the next. So they're threatening a take here, which would then lose our queen. So we need to... Yeah, that square's fine, but this square is being attacked twice and we're only defending it once. So we go like to here, which attacks that queen, defends that square, and it also stops us being forced to leave the bishop there to defend the knight, because now the bishop could move out. Although it would leave our king very exposed, the bishop probably shouldn't move from there. Again, they chose not to play on this board because it used to be in the future, but now once I submit this, it'll be in the present, and they'll have to play on both. Unless they travel again. But they've created an inactive timeline here. I only have to, I can choose to play on this. The whole thing is completely nutty, yeah. 99, it's mad, isn't it? Now, this is an important rule to appreciate, though. That any timelines that the black player creates will go on the black side of the board. So the timelines, the alternate timelines that have been created so far have both been created by black, and so they've both piled up on the north, yeah, upwards on the black side of the board. If I was to do time traveling and create or travel between parallel dimensions, create a new timeline, my ones that I create would come below on the south. This central one is always active. This timeline is shared. It's the original timeline. But on your own side, you're only ever allowed to have one more than your opponent. And before, he did have one more. But now he's got 2 more than me because he's got 2 timelines on his side and I've got 0. So because he's got more than one more than me, those timelines are inactive. I don't have to play on this. The present has not been moved back to this timeline because he's kind of in like too much time travel debt to me, if that makes sense. Welcome, Michael. I just took the trash out before I started this stream, so it's classic Sunday activity. This is rather scary. We're being attacked in so many different places here. The knight's being attacked twice and not even defended once. And the rook is being attacked once too. So yeah, I think it's in our interests to never time travel now until we have to. Oh look, they actually played that move we were predicting, which is a mistake. Because now we take. What did they play on this board? They didn't play on this board, or they did. Oh, they did. They escaped there. Yeah, that was silly. I mean, this is all scary and open now. But we can do this. The king can't take, and we've won that rook. So I think we just play on these 2 boards. The thing is, yeah, it is kind of hard to plan ahead, except that 99, at this point now, we're in a bit of an advantage. I mean, if they get an attack and we need to time travel, it's going to be bad, because then we'll have to deal with that board, as well as the fact that we've been in a position that's so bad that we've been forced to time travel. But if we just keep playing on these 2 boards and never time travel again, they can never actually bring us back to this point. So that's the best strategy now, is to just try and keep going. So develop the knight and they push the pawn. Yeah, I mean, this is quite bad play on their part. So I think it's risky, yeah, but we want to let our queen out here. But actually, no. Let's keep our pawn structure. Let's bring this pawn up here to defend the bishop. The next move will be queen here to whatever square that is, c2. And then once the rook's been taken here, then the queen can come and take that pawn, and then we're just dismantling this corner. As for over here, it's hard. I want to put this bishop under pressure, but the only real way to do that would be to kind of weaken my king. I suppose pushing that pawn, no, it does, yeah, it gives the diagonal. It would actually be better to push this pawn because there isn't actually diagonal access there. And also, their black bishop on this board isn't particularly ready for development. Particularly not to that square there, which is where it would need to get into this diagonal to get into that gap. So they'd have to come out here, there, or move both 2 points. Yeah, you're fine. Let's keep going like this. Oh, I always forget that pieces can take like that. Okay, so the bishop just took our knight here because it moved diagonally. It moved one dimension that it moved in was parallel universes. The other dimension it moved in was just the y-axis. Yeah, so it moved one place in parallel dimensions and one place in axis in just normal 2D movement. That means our whole plan is a bit ruined now. But it does mean it counts as an action on both boards, so they kind of only got one turn between the two boards, which isn't ideal. Anyway, we can develop this queen now. In fact, let's take... I think this might be checkmate. If we take that pawn there, because I think we'll be putting the king in check back as far as... Oh, I mean, that pawn was their first move, so the king has been vulnerable to a queen sat on that square from the very beginning. I think I should have noticed this earlier. I think this is checkmate because I think this queen is going to be putting the king in check in the present and at some point in the past as well, and they won't be able to escape. I think this is oh no, look, the rook right there, that's a blunder. That's a blunder. So we need to... Okay, let's completely change tact here. Let's force the rook out. So it's actually when the pawn was there, we should have already developed. Bishop doesn't move normally if it jumps timelines. No, the bishop can only move across 2 dimensions at once. That's how they kind of define diagonal movement in 5D chess. Is what diagonal movement is moving the same number of places in 2 dimensions simultaneously, no more, no less. So the bishop must always be moving in 2 dimensions, the same number of spaces. And so the normal effect of that is like, if we look at my bishop here, say, here, and how it can move. If it moves down here, then it's no longer moving diagonally, it's actually moving orthogonally, because one of the dimensions of movement is being taken up by the parallelness. So the other dimension then of normal movement is one-dimensional. They can either move up and down or left and right because they're moving boards. Same goes for moving it into the past. And as you can see, the more places into the past we move it, then if that's 1 place into the past, it can move 1 place up. 2 places into the past, 2 places up. But it can't move any further back than that because that bishop's blocking it. So to move up to that square there, you need that path to be clear, just like moving normal pieces. If you encounter a piece, you have to check at that point. You have to take the piece. Sorry, you can't like move through it unless you're a knight. knights can move through everything, obviously. This board is kind of interesting. I think that's the right move to pressure the rook a bit. That pawn isn't protected anymore, so the bishop might just come out and take, and then there'd be room for it to move forwards in and take. My brain just said no. Yeah, I could show you some tutorials and things, I guess, that might make it a little easier. But yeah, it takes a while to get your head around, definitely. It's not like this. Yeah, it's a very complicated game. But okay, so here we can just take. Seems to probably be the best move. There's this file here is quite open then to the king, but the king isn't actually sat in that file, so it should be alright. Cool. See what black says now. They took the pawn, as I thought. They developed the knight. So they're probably looking to castle on this board up here. Yeah, and they took the pawn, which was dumb, because now we take that guy, and I think we're one move away from mate on this board with that queen, unless they do something about it. And up here, just push. Yeah, cool. So I think this is mate. Queen there, puts the king in check, and it's in check in the past at some point as well there. I think we'll just play that just to potentially have the same option here in case something goes wrong. Yeah, you win. Checkmate. So if you look at the checkmate we got here, the queen is checking the king in the present, but this queen also has the option to move back to this square to take. So if we look, it's 1, 2, 3, 4 squares it's got to move to the king there, yeah? So here its path would be, it would start there, it would land here on that square there, then it would land here on that square, then it would land here on that square, and then finally take the king there. So as you can see, it's moving back the same number of places in time as it is in the X direction and in the Y direction. Yeah, like like this diagonal movement here can be defined as 4 spaces up, 4 spaces right, and then it also is moving 4 spaces in time. If there was a bigger grid, it could also be moving 4 spaces in parallels. But anyway, you can see that's how I got the old checkmate going. Someone's saying I shouldn't play standard because it's so unforgiving. We could try a smaller variant, maybe. It does seem like someone's replying. Standard defended pawn. Okay, should we try that? Okay. Standard defended pawn. Less vulnerability at the start. Okay. It's hard not to play chess without being stream sniped. As this guy clocking that I'm streaming. That's hilarious. Yeah, I think playing humans who actually know what they're doing is probably still a way. Oh yeah, the webcam has frozen. Huh. I wonder why. Oh, strange. Maybe I need to just reopen OBS. I could try that. Think you'd have to play it to grasp it. Yeah, probably. This is so weird. Like, I've never had my webcam do this before. What if we just like piss it off and come back? No. Okay, bear with me. Okay, hopefully we're back now. How's that looking? Yeah. Okay. We're back. We're back, baby. Oh yeah. Interesting advice from this Discord though. Let's just get a custom, like random, sure, yeah. Let's try defended pawn. See if more people want to play it. But I feel like, oh wow, somebody did choose to play it. Okay, wait, hold on then. So all they've done is just move the queen. Switch the queen and the knight. It's kind of weird. Have you played SCPCB? No. No, not heard of that. What's it saying? Okay, so they've moved their knight out. Should we just do that? Or should we do this? Let's do that. Oh, they submitted. Yep, cool. So I think I'm in trouble here because they've got more pieces to defend their square than I do. Unless I have to move my king there. That'd be crazy. You know, I guess we develop this knight to defend that square again. That seems fine to me. In case someone is stream sniping me, maybe I should keep my strategies to myself, right? So that queen's coming out then. So we just get stuck in at this point, I think. Is it going to be like one move? It's just going to be checkmate. Oh, of course, there's the knight there. I didn't know. Oh well, whatever. It's a trade. Let's block the queen. Oh, I should have left the bishop there and then played the knight there. That would have been way better. We're learning. We're learning. Let's develop the queen to here to protect from this queen coming in somewhere else. No one's even time traveled yet. I think this I must be playing an opponent that knows a little bit more what they're doing here. Firstly, if they've chosen defended pawn, and I've actually got a match way quicker, so this must actually be a more popular variant for people of my ability. Develop another knight. Block the queen from access to the rook. Yeah, they've moved that pawn there. They've foreseen that I was probably planning on maybe the knight to there or something about this square, and they've put more pressure onto it. which makes sense to me. Castle. Moving the king like this, I think, is smart, because it means the king is no longer in the same place in the present as it was in the past, which makes putting the king in check in both places at the same time harder. Although I think that this square here is the one that's really vulnerable now, because if their queen sat on that square, I think they'd be putting us in check on both locations, kind of thing. I'm not sure. Save Andreas back in the game. Game hurts your brain, yeah, sure. We're actually playing against a human here, and I think this game could get very, very interesting. Okay, without giving too much strategy away in case my opponent is watching. I think that's my move here. I think this is a really, really nice move. Their queen here has a way in now, though, which is a little bit, well, it's very concerning in some ways, but I think it's just too tight around there, and with the knight still defending that square, and yeah, I don't think it's that risky. Looks like a bad idea for the king to be there. I know what you mean, yeah. I think there's things we can do, but right now this knight here is a very offensive move. I mean, we're threatening this square here, the queen on it. This pawn is also undefended, and would see us, if we took that pawn, it would see us then attacking both rooks. So they need to deal with the fact the queen is under pressure. And once they have dealt with that, this pawn will be really exposed. I don't think there's a move where they can defend that pawn with the queen. And I mean, unless what we might see here, because they're in a bit of a tough spot now, is that our opponent will utilize time travel at this point. They didn't. Okay, so what they've chosen to do instead is to attack harder. And therefore, maybe make us worry a bit about that. See this knight here? Let's do it. But all the pieces that this queen is threatening, it's not changed the diagonal situation. All the pieces the queen's threatening are defended. We're gonna do this. We just have to be aware that the knight needs to keep moving. If we leave the knight there for 2 turns, the bishop can do a time-traveling move and take us. I could take his queen with my queen, but then we'd be swapping queens, because their queen is defended here. Why would... Oh, right, I see. We are allowed to play. They just hadn't confirmed their move. There we go. But I want to keep the knight moving, because if the knight isn't continuously moving, then that bishop would be able to time travel and take it. We could make him trade queens. We could, but I wanted to finish off the knight was in a risky position here if we let time continue to pass. That's a good trade for us. The king's less defended without a rook next to it. That pawn there is now weaker. But I do actually agree, 99. I think at this point, their queen is more dangerous looking than ours. Yeah, that knight's defending that pawn, actually. I think the trade is the right idea as well, 99. I think that's the one, because their queen was looking more threatening than ours, I think. And now that we're ahead on material with the rooks, the trade is a good idea for us. So next, probably that pawn. Although this pawn here then creates a nice defensive structure around the king. The knight's not threatening anything that's undefended, but if the knight was to, if they were to sack their knight here, then we'd have to take with this pawn, and the file would be open. I still think it's fine. Let's push. I think this is good because it's a more sturdy pawn structure there when we're blocking both diagonals. When we've got a pawn, these two, like all three of the pawns being on white squares, I think it's they complement each other better with like one of them blocking the dark square. Free the bishop is also a thing, definitely, yeah. Ideas of like this pawn coming up to here and bishop coming out to there. Or ideas of this and then moving the knight away, and then the bishop would be able to come up and out into this, you know, there maybe, and across that diagonal could be very useful for us right here. Yeah, that's the other good, that is another really good point, 99, is because both of us only have white square bishops and no queens left. The only diagonal threats here are white squares, and therefore moving our king to a dark square would also be smart. Oh, he just they just undid that move. Once you submit, you can't go back on a move, but they do let you make moves, then press submit, because sometimes you're making moves on several boards at once and you want to see how everything lines up and then submit. So they've retreated. We can keep pushing, but no, I think it's risky. Oh, that said, like we've just established, the only diagonal threat here is white squares. So actually moving this pawn to the white squares again. The knight has this square. And if we pushed here, that it would also be able to move back to where it come from. The other option would be to push this one up. But then it can sneak in behind and get check. In fact, it can sneak in behind there and get check anyway. We need to somehow defend this square. Moving the king forward could do that. Be a bit silly. How much time have we got? Yeah, he is. He's threatening a check here, right? It's so funny how we're playing 5D chess, but no one's time traveled yet. Look, it's just like one crazy game of chess. Someone's going to do a mad time traveling move at some point, though, and it's, yeah, it'll break it wide open. Like, might be in our interest to time travel to back when we had a queen. Do that. Push the pawn. Get the bishop's diagonal more open. So I thought we'd see this, but I don't really mind taking here. I think, or we leave it. We let it happen, and we just threaten the knight and the bishop at the same time. Although, no, we're just going to get our knight taken by a pawn. But if that happens, then we take with our bishop. And then they take here, we take there. Then they take here. Yeah, I think we could even let them just march them. Oh, I don't know. No, queen in that... Oh, I don't know, because we can't take with the king. This might be way riskier than it looks like to me right now. The other option is, in fact, we can move the knight there. That's what we can do. Move the knight there, strengthen up this area. Open up the attack from the bishop. Boom. Boom. We made that decision basically bang on 420. Move the knight in front of the knight. There you go. Right, so now we're in check. Come back here. And yeah, they've made a blunder there, in my opinion, because that pawn's now trapped and adding to our defenses. Right? It's great. Like, they should have taken, because then they're not putting us in check, but the threat is more takes and breaking down our defenses. Instead, they went for the check, which actually improves our defenses. I'll smoke to that. Whee! We're slightly ahead on time as well, which is nice. Oh, sweet. The guys messaged me back. I can actually join the league. I'll get my ass whooped in the league, but that should still be really fun. I'm going to definitely do that. After this game, I'm going to sign up to that. That's fucking amazing. Okay. Yeah, I think this was a blunder. I think we're in a good spot here. So they've developed knight. So we can take knight and trade bishops, given we're up on material. Oh, no, I'm trading my bishop for a knight. I don't think that's as good. I don't think that's wise. Yeah, the black diagonal is not a threat. So let's push here. I'm threatened to take both pieces. The knight could move to here. It would be taken. It could move to there. It wouldn't be taken, actually. No, it can't move there because that's the point. They put their piece there. They're stuffed. So it can move here. It would be taken. Here it would be taken. Can't. And those two retreats. Cool. We took a lot of time on that move, but still. Do you ever use the history parallel board views? Yeah, free up the right side rook. That's a really good idea as well. I don't often know. I mean, the parallel one, I think is maybe clearer when you've got more parallel universes, and then the history view. I don't know. Personally, I don't find it as clear as seeing the grid, because as soon as you do this, I don't know. I just like looking top down and seeing our 4 dimensions as being up, down, left and right in the board, and up, down, left and right in the grid of boards. And those are your 4 dimensions, yeah. Right. We're wasting too much time because I keep explaining things. Develop. Yeah, we're behind on time now. We need to play some more. Speedy moves. So they're threatening the bishop. That bishop knight trade-off. So I think we do that to say, look, cool, we can trade, but I'll just take your knight afterwards, so you'll still be down in material. And then I think, yeah, maybe bringing this. Well, let's wait and see. Don't want to give anything away in case we are being sniped. I'm so obsessed with that just because someone in the Discord said it's hard enough without being stream sniped, and it made me think, wait, hold on a minute. Can they see on Discord I'm streaming right now? Move the bishop back to near the king. Yeah, actually, that's not a bad shout. It prevents like a kind of horizontal attack on the bottom file later on. I'm happy to trade knights. Yeah, I'm happy to trade knights. Because I'm running out of time here. I just need to start making solid moves. I'm passing the buck back again quicker and quicker each time. Don't trade it. Oh, too late. Sorry, mate. It might not have been a good idea because of the development they managed to get out of it for their rook, but I think it's okay, really. But I'm going to retreat this bishop. I think that's a nice move. Yeah, to there. I think that's fine. Faster decisions. Faster decisions. Come on. I think we can do that because even though they've just advanced that pawn, if takes, then takes. We're still up. Okay, they found a nice little gap there. I was wondering if this rook has ever been anywhere where we could take in the past. No, okay. I don't really know how pawns move in parallel dimensions. Okay, anyway, we need to make a decision much quicker than I am doing. Let's do that. That's true. That is very true, Howard. We could switch which colour squares the bishop's on by moving it into the past. The thing is, has no one time travelled yet? Yeah, no one's... Yeah, so it is kind of crazy how long this game's gone on without anyone doing that. I guess that probably is typical. It probably shows... Yeah, that knight's useless there. That bishop will need to retreat back. They kind of wasted a move, I think. Okay, so here's a good move, I think. Takes. If takes, we can push. If not, then we can take. But they did take. So that's cool. No, the rook just grabs it straight away, and the knight actually. Stefano safe. How you doing? Nobility as well. Welcome, welcome. You don't want to be the first traveller. It's kind of true. It's kind of true. There's a little bit of debt and credit around time traveling. Yeah, so that's why it seems like both players here are just trying to resist it. So they've prevented the push on that pawn there, but by moving the knight... Oh, wait, hold on. This is getting more complicated now because I can't just move that across. I don't know how to defend this pawn and this pawn at the same time. We do just move that. So that one's now no longer under attack. We're running out of time. We've got like half the time they have. Okay, I just need to go quicker. It's being able to actually maybe, you know, the other thing would be maybe we need to move this rook now. Oh, here we go. Hey! And so this is the present now. It's my turn and I have to act here. I could act in the future, but I have to act here. Oh, they haven't submitted yet. It's not a good move. I just take with the pawn. And then they advance and they've created a situation that's very bad for them. Yeah, takes. And then takes. And then takes. And they're down material from that. Oh, right, yeah, we just traded bishops, though. Whoops, okay. That was a mistake on my part. Well, maybe not. Start pushing the knight forwards. No. Get a bit more defensive. We've managed to win our time advantage back a bit. Yeah, look, we can take. We blundered. We're nearly back ahead on time. Shit, I don't know what to do. It's kind of a sack, that move. If takes with the bishop, my plan's gone. Okay, it didn't work. Yes, they took. Perfect. Am I still that far behind in? Oh, shit. We're trying something dodgy here. It might be a tie. So what we need to do... Sorry, I've just not been very good at commentating here. Why can't I submit that move? Oh, because I have to work on this board too. I've got 1 second left, plus my 6. But here, on this board, I'm 1 move away from checkmate, I think. Their turn. No, they're just in check. They're not in checkmate. Damn it. Oh, yeah, of course, the fucking knight. Oh, no. Oh, no. Oh, no. And now I'm in check on both boards. Takes. Not really sure how I'm in check on this board. Oh, like, dirtily into the past. Oh, yeah, because the bishop would then move along a straight line when travelling back in time. But we just ran out of time. We ran out of time. Not bad. Not bad. GG. GG to whoever that was. That was good. That was good. Whoever you are out there. That was sick. All right, let's do that again, shall we? Or should we play just standard? No, let's play... Maybe let's play defended pawn again. Oh, yeah, before I do that, though... Oh, was that stack hand off? It might have actually been that guy. Okay, cool. So we know who we were just playing in the Discord. That's pretty sweet. Okay, we'll have to play someone else next time, though. They say they don't have time for another game, but still, that's big in the game. Let me, while I'm here, let me just fill out this application or whatever for the league as well, because I think I'm quite late to filling it out. So should just get on with it and do it now while the Brer's giving me another chance. That was a nice game, though, wasn't it? You've got some noisy neighbours going on, Stefano, have you? You have to drown that thing out. Bishop shenanigans. Special round with 2 rooks and 1 king. You want to play that one? Okay. I can't remember what that one was called, but it's going to be one of the small variants. Was it small open? I think it might have been small open. Oh no, not private match. There it is. Yeah, let's see what that one's like then, Michael. I'm on it, I'm on it. Okay, so I've got this form to fill out as well, like collection of 5D Chess League documents, links for Season 1, links for Season 2. Registration ends on 1st of April, but it seems like I'm still good to go. So do I just need to read the rules and check that I'm not, like, against the rules? Okay, I might actually need to read this later. There's quite a lot to read there. This is taking a while to search as well. I guess not many people search for this. Oh, this is totally different. Okay, cool. Let's play this. This is not what I was expecting, but we'll have it. So we're black again. Okay, so we'll wait for them to take their move. I feel like this is an opening trap, because taking this pawn now opens a diagonal to our king. But if they take it, let's develop our rook. And now we take their rook. Wait, what? So it's because this knight, we couldn't take the knight, and it was going to just take the king there. And there's no... Because knights jump over things, right? So there's no way of blocking the knight. The only way to prevent the knight is to be able to move the... Why couldn't I move? Oh, yeah, I can't. I can move that... Yeah, I can't move the king in the past. Yeah, that's it. That's what it is. Okay, so we lost very quickly. Whoops. Again. Or variant, standard, clocks, medium. Oh, no. Oh, someone just grabbed it. I was going to jump in there. Let's do... It was good. I liked standard defended pawn. I did actually like that. Short, random, defended pawn. Let's see if anyone's up for that. Yeah, the thing is, you can't, Michael, you can't... If there's a possible capturing of your king, then it's there. Then we don't, like... It's like in normal chess. You put someone in check, the game's over. Like, you don't have to wait and see if they actually take the king or not. Stefano doesn't get it. Yeah, that's cool, man. I don't blame you. I'll try and explain how all the pieces move in this game now as we go. The first thing I'm going to do is play this pawn here, I think, to try and get our queen out. Because in 3D chess, in 5D chess, defending the king is like a historical issue. This is my kind of classic catchphrase about this game. You want your king to have been defended at all times in history, so that people can't attack your king in the past. Okay, good. I'm happy with that response from them. I mean, this looks just like a scholar's mate, really, doesn't it? It could be. I probably shouldn't have said that, in case whoever I'm playing is watching. Yeah, they prevented it there nicely. Move our knight back in time to here and put them in check. Just because I haven't done much time traveling yet. So to explain how that knight just moved, if you think the way that knights move is in an L shape, they move 2 spaces in one dimension and 1 space in another. So in this case, we moved our knight 2 spaces in the Y direction within the board, but then also we moved it 1 unit in time. So 2 places in the Y, 1 unit in time makes the L of the knight, and that's why it moved 2 places, and then we've created this branch here, which they have now escaped. But I think now, because they had to defend it like that, now we just come here. Oh, the knight is still defending, and also our... Yeah, okay, so we push God, there's so much to think about. This knight is not being defended in the present day, only in the past. The past version of the knight is defended. But I still think if takes with the king, it's risky. Okay, this is lovely for us, I think. I think we take here on this, in this dimension, and in this dimension. Is that bishop threatening that pawn? And it's threatening that pawn in the present, but that one in the past. Because if it moves in time, then that takes up one of its dimensions. And once you start moving bishops around in time, they then move in straight lines, because one dimension is the movement on the board, and one dimension is, you know, the time or whatever. I think I'm going to play that. Oh, this is still their go. They're still thinking about what they do on the other boards, right? Yeah, exactly. Ability just read the Wikipedia article, so I understand the rules now, but I'm more confused. Try to put the king in a castle. Yeah, definitely, definitely. That's always a good one. I'm taking too much time, aren't I? In the interest of castling our king, let's take a risk and push this pawn. Get our bishop out this way. Because if we push that pawn, the bishop could line up with the queen there and start to dismantle the pawn structure. And I almost think let's do the same on that board too. We're really behind on time. Although the other option is to try and castle it queenside here, because that would push our king next to the queen, which would probably be a very defendable position. It's like kids adding random rules to games. It kind of is, except I think this is really impressive because these rules all work. I've never found like a game where you're playing with time travel and parallel universes and it works. It's not just full of like contradictions, or it's not just that the time travel element of the game is just narrative and not gameplay. Like, this is time travel gameplay. So it's like super impressive if you ask me. Have they just blundered massively? That's a blunder, right? On this board it's a blunder. I guess no, because the queen on this board is defending the pawn on this board. And there's the bishop there defending too. So this pawn is defended 3 times. Actually. And we're only attacking it twice. So it's not a blunder on their part yet. But now that we can move our bishop out to here, now that pawn is looking like it's in a bit of trouble. And if we can pressure that square or that queen on this board at the same time, like, what about? Simple as that. They could move the bishop, but then that also kind of puts an end to the attack that they had going on, pinning that pawn to the king. I think this is a nice couple of moves. You saw a knight move in a straight line. Yeah, knights, like I say, knights move in an L shape. 1 space in 1 dimension and 2 spaces in another. So if one of those dimensions is time or parallel dimensions. What have they done there? They've moved their queen 1 space. So exactly as I thought, they wanted to defend this pawn more, but they haven't added an extra defender. So takes, 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 takes. I think we're fine. Unless I'm missing another piece that can take from this board. I don't think there is one. They just had to move the queen because it was under pressure. It was it was a nice move from us, that. Just move the bishop up just so that we can get that castle. Braid was pretty good. Yes, that's true. I did hear about Braid. Yes, fair play. Yeah, so look. Wait, what did they... Oh, they took the knight. Oh, of course, that knight was just hanging the whole time. Guys, look what this bishop can do. This is sick. Although, we made the last timeline, didn't we? So we're in debt. Yeah. So we can take the queen here, but well, this is an inactive timeline now. And they could take with the bishop. Yeah, anyway. It's inactive. It makes us a bit vulnerable in this timeline, I think. But there's nothing fit to take anymore, which is cool, because that square was a little bit... We were... yeah, and then we just... That one's we've already moved. This one, we castle. Submit. We're taking too long. We're taking too long. Yeah, it's very true. Like, board games, like, variants on board games are way easier to manage, aren't they? Well, I suppose, but like in video games, it's just called modding, isn't it? It's pretty, modding is pretty ubiquitous. What the actual fuck just happened? Okay, with the bishop moves in 2 dimensions at once. So we moved one place in time, and we moved one place in downwards motion and took the queen. The thing you've got to remember is bishops move in straight lines once they're traveling in time or parallel dimensions, because as soon as you introduce a time dimension or a parallel dimension, all they have left is one dimension to move in. And if you move them in time and parallel dimensions, then they just stay on the same square. Makes sense, obviously. Oh shit, I just left that bishop hanging. That's a bit dumb. Oh well. I'm dumb. Da da dee da da dum dum. And this is the thing now, because I've time traveled twice. I'm in that time travel debt, you geez. I'm just gonna do that. They can maybe take. I still think it's the better move. Or we. Oh no, look, these guys aren't castled yet. Let's castle that bottom bit. And let's do that. Now this bishop in the future will be able to take this knight, the rook. But it can't take it right now because it needs to move back in time. And to take it moving back in time, it's not there back in time. But this rook is now under attack. And so our next turn, unless this bishop's moved, we'll have to take it. Or we'll have to move our rook again. Actually, it does make sense. Good. Why move it to a different dimension? Because I needed to. I needed to in order to take at that point. But look, aha! They just moved. See, they've changed their mind. They were going to move in time, but as soon as they do move in time, this board here, where they are in big trouble, becomes awoken. The present moves back to there. The thing is, Nobility, you're kind of right with the modding versus rule changes on board games. Typically, variants on board games will add like a lot more variety in the gameplay, whereas I think modding usually it's like adding content, but the core gameplay is often the same. That varies. Obviously there's loads of mods that are more substantial, but yeah, so they're doing that. We have to take I think we can move our queen to here. And just similarly as with the bit, they won't be able to take because their next turn they'll be moving back in time in order to take, and the queen wasn't there yet. So we can move our queen there, but we'll have to move it again next turn. TFC chess pog. We're not trading queens here. I'm just trying to develop it. Like the next square would be to move it to here and then to come flying down through to there sort of thing. I've obviously got 2 queens here and no queens up there, so maybe we should have developed the queen in the other reality. Anyway, whatever. We're just running out of time, so we need to just play faster. If you're new anyway, because I'm playing 5D chess for the first time, then welcome to the channel, and please do subscribe, like, and all that good stuff. Oh fuck. They could take it with that bishop from the other board. Oh, that's a shitter. This board here is a nightmare for us now. So I'm going to try a funny move. I'm pretty sure this is bad strategy. But it might be good strategy. Chuck another king there. They both defend each other, and then this board where they've got all their pieces now has no king on it. It's pretty funny, right? Oh wait, this is trouble, isn't it? No, okay, good, it's not. No, we'd be able to take with our king. We'd just move our king back. Oh no. No, they are, yeah, they are going to go for that. I'll keep my same chess. Same chess, yeah. It's pretty rowdy, this. They still don't want to bring us back to there. That's the thing. This is the advantage I have with having done the time traveling ahead, is that now, although I have more time travel debt than them, like I can't time travel and make it count, they now, in order to defend this amazing position here, must also avoid time traveling, because as soon as they do, this board will become active again. So actually, both of us now are a little bit trapped just in these 2 boards, and nobody really wants to time travel anymore. Right, they've gone with something else here. Move that into there. They're attacking this square here twice over. I guess what they're trying to do is... Yeah, let's do this. Okay, no. What we need to do is move this king back to this board to take. That's what we need to do. This is the new standard for chess from now on. Okay, yeah, that was a nice checkmate. You could just see this is a player that knows the game better than I do. So let's talk about this checkmate. What happened here? That knight is putting that king in check. That's really, really simple. We need to move this king to there, okay? But this queen is putting a passed king in check. I see. I also think if we were to move this king to here, yes, exactly, then this queen would also be checking that king. This queen, whatever this king does in the next turn, like if we were to say, let's say we could take that knight, this king, whatever it does, is still in check next turn by this queen too. Maybe I'm not quite ready to join a league. That was fun though. All right. I've not got much time left. I've got maybe 10 minutes. So let's try and play one of those really small variants again. Miscellaneous. Excessive. Royal Queen Showdown. Should we just play something really random against the CPU maybe? Because actually we can check lots of them here. Very small open. I think very small open is probably what we played. Nope, not this. Wow, the game just starts with takes. Like, just immediately I lose my bishop before we've even begun. I think we have to take back. What the f... Okay, do we take back? Uh-huh. Is this checkmate? What's my legal move? Oh, to probably flee the king. No, that doesn't work. We have to go back in time. It's kind of cool, these little examples actually show you some of these dynamics quite nicely here. The only option for me there was to move back in time to a point in time that was before I got into such trouble. Oh, it's still my turn. Because that king is still in check there. And the future we've created is... Oh, shit. Okay, so that doesn't even work. The thing you always was wondering about chess is whether it's like tic-tac-toe and there's a perfect strategy. That's a ridiculous question. I think there's too much variety. There's too many different lines. I mean, yeah. The number of possible games of chess, I think, is a lot. That's a big number. It's a very big. It's a very big number. So what are the legal moves here? Because it doesn't say it's checkmate. Is that okay? No, because then that king's in check in the new... Yeah, of course. Is it that or something? I've literally got no idea like how we get out of this move, but it's not checkmate. So there is a legal move for me and I just can't find it. The way computers win at chess is by looking ahead and viewing all perfect moves rather than applying a perfect strat to begin with. Right, yeah, so because there's so many different lines, there is perfect strategy, but that perfect strategy changes every time your opponent makes a move. Because you have to be responsive. You can't like force your opponent into a corner from the beginning because there's too many options on both sides of the board, I think. Chess is simple enough that computers can basically see every possible outcome. Wow. Yeah. I presume that with like the strongest AI on 5D chess isn't that good, and I presume that might be because of the increased number of potential games, right? The thing is, I think nobility, the reason we can't answer that question yet, but I don't think there's rules, that it rules out the possibility of there being one. The problem is you can never force your opponent. Like, tic-tac-toe, there reaches a point where whatever your opponent does, like, your strategy remains consistent, and you start to force their hand, don't you? You start to say, well, look, I've already put 2 in now, so the opponent has to play here to carry on. But in chess, there's almost always 2 or 3 different options, and then whatever your option your opponent takes changes your strategy as you go. So I don't think you could ever have a rule book. If you did, it would just be so big and contain so many what ifs that it would kind of be quite far removed from what you're talking about. I think of there being a perfect linear strategy. It would be more like, here is a map of every chess game ever and how to win in lots of different games. You know, I think that's what it would be closer to in principle. Anyway, right, let's find this fucking move. The problem is that this knight is putting us in check in the past, because it can't. So we have to stop the knight from time traveling to here by making, I think, because we can't take this knight with any of our pieces. So what we have to do is move back in time. We have to move a piece from this board to one of these, but then, so is it that? Do we play the same move back? Oh shit, that is legal. Okay, why? Why? Why is that the move? Oh, I see, because now white has to take a turn here and they don't get to play here because we never played on that board. So as long as we avoid playing on that board, it's not their turn on that board and they can't take us into the past. However, when I submit these moves, they'll do something and then it will be checkmate to me because now I have to play on that board. And yeah, okay. So it was like a checkmate already, kind of. But it just needed one more move from me. It was like checkmate in one. So it was very small, the one we did instead. What the fuck? This is amazing. Ridiculous, but amazing. So if we took there, no, then they can start taking up. Can we en passant that pawn? If we take there, does it en passant it at the same time as taking that one? I don't really know what the strategy is here. I'm just trying to trade pieces to simplify a bit, like, if anything. I think that's a nice move, because then we can take the the rook later. Take it in the past. That's inactive because they've traveled too many times, so we'll just ignore that. We don't need to worry. Oh, yeah, of course, they just took us. But I think on this board now we could even promote. Although they could promote, but then we'd take them. Yeah, fine. I think that's fine. I think the only sensible move for me on this board is that. Whoa, they just moved a pawn from one board to the next. I didn't know you could do that. I definitely want to play that move so we can start pushing and we can put them in check and la-di-da. That pawn can't move, that's fine. The king is quite trapped though. Whatever, let's just do that. Or can we actually move our bishop onto that board? We could, but then we'd have to not move on that board. Alright, let's do that just because I do want to keep playing like this on that board. So put 2 kings on that board now, that's fine. Yoink. And over here, get a queen. Okay, they just took the queen. Whoops. Didn't see that coming. They've hidden the king in the past here. So we can choose to engage with this board. This doesn't look good for us, that board. And we're in check over here. I think that's a fine move. And that to stop them promoting. They're just traveling all over the place. So now there's none of their kings in the present. Oh, that's okay. You win? I wasn't expecting to win there, so that's because the queen is probably checking this king in the past for ages and ages. Yeah, exactly, right? There's nothing they can do. Beautiful. Okay, cool. Well, look, this has been lots of fun. Like I say, if you're new to the channel, please do subscribe. I think we'll be playing more 5D chess here because it's giving me bear jokes. And I'm going to read the rules for this league, and maybe we'll enter the league. So that would create some structure, because if the timings of those matches is something I can commit to, well, then I'd be able to publish that schedule of when we're playing our 5D chess league games. And that would be something that would be like a regular slot. So I need to read through it and see if I can commit to it, or if it's maybe too much of a commitment. I'm not sure. But yeah, for now, it's Easter Sunday, so I'm going to go out and hide chocolate eggs in the garden for my kids. Because it's nap time's finished now. So yeah, safe. Thanks for watching. Like, subscribe, share. Have a little crack at 5D chess if you like yourself. Maybe I'll put what I might do is put a tutorial video out on my channel, because that could then be something I can point people towards when I'm streaming. So yeah, thanks very much, guys. Thank you for watching. Take care. And I'll see you again very soon. Lovely. Peace.